Welcome to the Better German podcast. My name is Susi Blümel, and I will teach you German and everything around the language, the countries, and the culture. Hello, my name is Susi. Welcome to the Better German podcast. This is episode 1, so I'm going to tell you a little bit first of who I am and why I'm even starting this podcast and what you can expect with this podcast. So, it's about learning German. I am a German teacher, but my vision is to help even more people than I could be helping now, or I have been helping so far, to learn German. Sometimes learning German has become too complicated, and people have given up and people found it very difficult. And my students have the opportunity to learn it a little bit easier, and they enjoy it, and I enjoy helping them. And I want to help more people like you to also have this experience. My native language is German. I live in Austria. I have been a teacher for about 18 years. At the end of 2005, I came back from the United States. I had done my education, not only as an English teacher, also as a trainer. And I came back after this training and I started teaching English. And then shortly after that, people were addressing me if I couldn't also teach them German, and I started teaching German. However, to be honest, in the beginning, I didn't like teaching German so much. And it took me quite some time to find good materials. I have a colleague that worked a lot there, and I also developed a lot of materials myself. And after starting to use those materials, I finally started to like teaching German because now I can teach German using the same approach that I was using before in my English classes. A few years ago, 2018, I started to mainly teach German. And so far, I've been teaching courses or individual students, either live or online. Now I'm only teaching online. But I have come to the point where I said, okay, I want to help more people. And this podcast is one of the steps to help more people. It's going to be a weekly podcast. As of now, there's going to be one episode every week. Roughly, the schedule is going to be 1 week. There's going to be some teaching. For example, I'm going to teach you words, a list of words. And the other week, there's going to be some more general thing like how much grammar do we need and so on. In the beginning, the teaching is going to be more geared towards beginners, but there will be stuff for any level of German. You can look at the podcast titles and then probably figure it out. When I'm giving explanations or give you information about German-speaking countries or Austria, I'm going to speak English. And obviously, I'm going to speak some German as well. I'm a native of Austria. My native language is German. And my vision is to help all learners of German to really learn this beautiful language without unnecessary complications or difficulties. Sometimes, in my experience, it has been made unnecessarily complicated to learn, and I want to help you to a German learning experience that is without these complications. Let me know if you want something specifically covered or you have specific questions, and maybe it's going to be the topic of an upcoming podcast episode. So the upcoming episodes, to just give you a little bit of an idea of what I have planned, we're going to cover the reasons to learn German. Actually, this one's live at the same time as this episode. And a few keywords about German or a German course. And an introduction to learning German and different aspects of what you can do and what you need to do. Particularly also an introduction to how I teach. Then we're going to have a first word list, a word list about body parts. And then I'm going to go into how much grammar do we need at what level of German learning. We're going to cover how to introduce yourself. We're going to cover what are articles, the small words, der, die, das, or a and the in English. Just a small introduction, and later on, I'm going to give you a part 2 of what are German articles and why we need them and how to learn them. This is maybe interesting for many students because I've heard the complaint of many German students that this is what gives them most trouble. So I'm trying to take some of the troubles away. And then I'm going to give you my favorite tips to learn German for free. And I'm going to go over the different methods of learning German. In this case, you can do a course, you can learn by joining a group or pairing up with somebody else or get an online course. And I'm going to go into what are the different pluses and minuses or the different aspects of each of these. So if you are not sure which one is the best for you, then you can go into this episode. This is just a small idea of the next few episodes coming up. Go to bettergerman.info/podcast, and there you will find all the upcoming topics and when they're scheduled. And also on my homepage on bettergerman.info/ and then the number of the episode, you will always find everything you need for every single podcast episode. There is going to be a separate page on my homepage, and you will find it with the number of the podcast episode. So this is the podcast episode number 1. So if you go to my homepage, bettergerman.info/1, you will be on this page for this episode. And not only can you listen to every episode right there, obviously you can also listen to it on the usual places where you find podcasts. You can also download a transcript and you can find the show notes there and all the links. And sometimes some of the episodes will have additional materials that are downloadable, and you will always find the links there. I could say something how I even got into teaching German. As I said before, after I did my training, I started teaching English mainly. And I loved the method that I was using. And it took some time and a lot of work by one of my colleagues who put in a lot of work, and also a lot of work that I put in to come to the point where I am now and how I can help students now to learn German. And all of this I want to give to as many people as possible. So if you're learning German or want to learn German or have tried to learn German, I want to help you, and I will help you if you give me the chance to achieve your goal. Thank you very much for listening to this. Let me know what you need and talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to this episode. You can find a transcript of this episode at bettergerman.info and then the number of the episode. You can also sign up for a newsletter there, and then you will be informed when there is a new episode coming or any other important events going on, new articles, new freebies, or things like that. If you liked it and it was helpful for you, please share it with other people and let them know that this exists. And if you are looking for a course and you want to learn German online, then you can, of course, find all the infos as well on bettergerman.info. So, see you there and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.